Yo, what's up, guys? I just want to do a quick discussion about Dark and Darker and some things that I think would be interesting to add. Two things. I think map improvements. Everyone wants map improvements. The map system currently sucks. Either make it bigger, the surface area around you, so that way you discover more. Have you discovered an entire room when you enter it? Or some more creative ideas. Would I saw this one on the subreddit? Is add a beacon into the corner of a room, clear the room, use the beacon, maybe you discover a quarter of the map or something. That one's kind of weird because you're clearing rooms so that you don't have to clear rooms. That one's kind of weird. But the other one I think would be interesting. I haven't seen anyone else said this, and if someone else said this, sorry. Is that if you kill a player, you should be able to discover the portions of the map that they've looked at. You should be able to see the portion of the maps that your teammates see. Maybe add like an E interact if you really want to get really technical about it. But I feel like you should be able to see the map that your teammates see. I can understand why, from maybe a coding perspective, that would be a little bit more difficult. I think that killing someone and discovering their portions of the map would be very useful, especially for finding boss rooms. Or maybe add some class identity / flavor. Add a soul dominate for Warlock. It would look a lot like Life Drain. You maybe have a teammate stall a mob for 5 to 10 seconds while you dominate it, or if you want to get real freaky, while you dominate his mind and you discover a module. So that way, if you need to find boss room, you can take a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, dominate 5, 6 mobs if you get lucky, and then discover those individual modules. Obviously, it would be a lot more difficult in solos, but I think class flavor stuff, I like stuff like that. I don't know if it would get used that often, but rough idea. Uh, On to the next. This is more of a game concept idea. I used Paint for this. I think adding raids / bosses on the weekends would drastically improve replayability of this game and would encourage people to play with other people and grow a community and get some reoccurring players in the weekend, and to give people a reason to play this game. Right now, there's a gold sync they added the mummy skin. A lot of people like that because it's giving people something to put their gold towards. Because a lot of people have a lot of gold. Um, they added a gold sync. They added arena, which is a PvP incentive, and I think a PvE incentive would work great. Tarkov is its own unique game. Dark and Darker and Tarkov are very similar conceptual, but Dark and Darker has something that Tarkov doesn't have, which is the fantasy element. And in a lot of fantasy games, you'll see raids where people can go with their friends to defeat a hard boss, etc., etc., etc. I think you can implement the modules and stuff like this, and I think it would help give class identity and give reasons to add flavor themes for class or use flavor themes for classes that typically aren't used. Something super simple, gap jump. I don't think they should make it impossible to do it without a druid, but I feel like it should be significantly easier with a druid, to the point where it just trivializes the entire thing. You got a druid that jumps across the gap and instantly can flip a switch or a lever, and it just fucking donezo, gone. Everything's good. Maybe you add some wall pushes or something. You gotta walk around this wall. There's a bunch of traps that you discover, etc., etc. After you clear this little portion right here, you go on to this portion right here. Let's just say something so simple. Eye of the boss, if it's like a lich or something, where there's like that little wandering green eye, wanders into a hallway, you go, oh shit, it fucking saw us, yeah, etc., etc., etc. DPS check, you got to damage it in time, or the boss gets a buff by the time you get there. Something simple. And then maybe you had a third portion where there's a trap door that you can lockpick it if you have a rogue on your team running traps and locks. And you get to consider that aspect of the raid, and you get to go, do I want to bring a rogue with lockpick mastery? That way we can get through this portion of the maze or this portion of the event easier. I think adding quick, cool little flavor things like that makes things interesting and helps diversify builds. That way you're not getting 6 PDR fighters in a single game. And then you have the boss fight, add 3-4 mechanics. You could probably use the regular bosses for right now up until the point where they make new bosses. This is something that I see long term further down the road, but I'd love to see something like this. I would do a 6-man, a 3-man. 3-man would be like 124 and under or 224 and under. I'd make that one a lot more easier, a little bit more casual. Most people know 3 people or can find 3 people with under 224 gear. This one would be more casual. Boss will have less health. There's less people, so there's like less people fucking up. And then add a 6-man boss, no gear cap. You had harder and more mechanics, and try to push for class diversity. Like, let's say the boss goes ethereal for a second, and you can only use wizards to hit it, or warlocks, etc., stuff like that. Encourage class diversity. I think that's important. And then I think this will cater to more PvE focused players, because there are people that play this game that only, not me, I like PvP. I like killing people. I really like killing people in this game. But I think this will help for the people that just like dungeon crawling. You know, some people go in this game and just want to play a dungeon crawler. They don't want to fight people. They want to get through the dungeon, find some gear, so that way it's easier to go through the next dungeon. I respect that. That's how I first started playing this game. And I think catering towards that group of people and giving them something to look forward to on the weekends will help. I mean, people play the base game right now 2 gear per arena. They're in the dungeon looking specific sets of gear to bring into the arena. And then I think with this, you should introduce minor artifacts. Minor artifacts, maybe you can only use one of them in the arena. There's certain ones that are better for certain people, obviously. And have a smaller drop chance. I think this will help people find whatever they need to find as far as gear goes. Maybe you put a pile at the end too, so that way everyone gets a little bit of gold. That way everyone leaves a little happy. But I love this idea. I truly think that this could be implemented, not easily, but I do think something like this could be implemented, and I think it would give something a lot of people to look forward to. This wouldn't be easy on the developers or anything, but I think tapping into that fantasy dungeon crawler-esque thing, giving something people to look for on the weekends, keep reoccurring players, which is always important for a game. I think this is extremely important, and this is a game that I'm very passionate about, that I very much like. The people that play Dark and Darker and have consistently played Dark and Darker love this game. I love this game, and I hope nothing bad ever happens to it. It's like a baby that you see get dropped on its head every time there's a patch note put in. Buff Druid, by the way. But it's a game I'm very passionate about. It's a game I try to make content about. But if you guys agree with what I say, or you want to improve upon my ideas, make a video about it. The more people that talk about things like this, that talk about game improvement, the more people at Iron Mace are more likely to see it. I don't have a very large voice. I got a very small voice. Hopefully a bigger creator sees this and pushes this out as well, but I'd love to see something like this. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to comment. I will read them, and if your idea is good, this gets enough demand, I'll make another video on it, including your guys' improvements. So really appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good one. See ya. Bye.